Hey guys, this is Eric Bramlett. I am the broker owner of Bramlett Residential. So this is intended to be an internal training tool for our agents. If you're not an agent at our brokerage and you're just interested in how we do things, feel free to follow along. So today we are going to discuss our annual real estate review packet and how to build that packet. So our annual real estate review is a program that we started whereby you contact all of your past clients in your sphere and you help them understand the important things that are going on with their house. And you do this once a year. It's a great service, it's a great way to add value, and it's a great way to stay in touch with your clients. So let's go ahead and get started. The packet looks like this, and the first page you'll see in the packet will just be the cover page. This will have your contact information, it'll have your headshot if you choose to have a headshot, and then you go down to the second page, and this is a table of contents. You have the property address that you'll fill out at the top, and then you know what to expect, the financial checklist, home maintenance and major systems, resources, market health, seasonality of the market, comparable properties and valuation, market statistics, county assessor information, and then after this you're going to have some custom printouts that you'll put together and attach to the document. So financial checklist page, you're going to fill a lot of this out, and then there will be some information whereby you'll have to contact your client by phone in order to fill out some of the information. First thing you'll see on here is the purchase price of the property, when they purchased the property, and then you look at the sold comparables that we'll talk about here in a bit, and you enter the information here. You look at the date range, you look at the sold price range, the average sold price, the median sold price, and then we'll look at property taxes. Property taxes are going to show the date of their the date of the last property tax protest. You'll have to get that info from them quite a bit, and then you'll have the current valuation and then any exemptions that are currently on the property. Right now, this property has a homestead exemption and nothing else, but it's great to also run through the other exemptions just to see if potentially your client could qualify for some of those. Below that, you'll have mortgage status. You will ask the client what the current loan amount is, what their current interest rate is, when they last refinanced, and if they pay any mortgage insurance. The idea here is that you help them do a quick analysis to see if they should refinance the property or if they're paying mortgage insurance, if they can drop that off. You'll look at the information on the mortgage info, and then you'll cross-reference that with the sold comparables in order to give a good analysis of that. When we get to the annual home maintenance page, we're going to ask the client what the age of some of the systems are. We're going to ask them the age of the roof, the HVAC, and the water heater. The idea being that we know exactly how long most roofs will last, how long most HVAC systems will last, and how long most water heaters will last. HVACs generally last 15 to 20 years. So if you ask your client how old it is, they tell you that it's 10 years old. You can help them understand that they will likely have to replace that system in the next 5 to 10 years. A lot of homeowners don't know this, so it's a great way for them to start preparing for that expense that will come up. You'll go ahead and mark the year that the plumbing system was built, which will be the same year as the house was constructed, and then you'll note the electrical system and the foundation. The idea here is that we know that plumbing systems of a certain age often fail. Think about cast iron plumbing. That's something that if it hasn't been replaced, it's an impending repair that they will likely have to make in the near future. Same with the electrical system. If the property was built in the 70s or earlier, often it has an outdated electrical system, and it's great to talk with them about that. If it hasn't been updated, they might want to talk to somebody about updating the electrical. Same with foundation. Based on the year the home was built, plus the location in town, you will know if you should ask them about cracks in the property to see if they should be concerned about any settlement, any shifting. Once you get past that, then you're going to look at the annual maintenance checklist. This is just going to go over some of the things that people need to do every year to make sure that their home stays in tip-top shape. The next page, it's a resource page. It's going to give them the website of the tax assessors in each county in the 5-county area. It's 3 property tax protest services that we've all used with some success, a couple of lenders that we recommend if they decide they want to refinance, and then a step-by-step on how to remove PMI if they need to look into removing PMI on their loan. Moving on to market health, this is the section of the review where you're going to discuss if they're in a buyer's market, a seller's market, or a balanced market. You'll arrive at this information by cross-referencing the market statistics that we'll show you how to pull in just a minute. If they're 3 months or less of inventory, then they're going to be in a seller's market. More than 6 months of inventory, you're looking at a buyer's market, and when you're between 3 and 6 months, you're in a healthy balanced market. You can see here that this particular area is in a balanced market with 4.125 months of inventory. We're also going to tell them the average days on market for properties to sell and the median days on market. the bottom, you will input the criteria that you used. We can see here that we only looked at one MLS area and we looked back 90 days. It's relatively common whenever you're running market statistics to look at 90 days and look at the entire MLS area. After this, you want to discuss seasonality of the market with your client. These folks are probably not looking at selling, but life sometimes throws a curveball. They might receive a job offer that requires them to move. It's really important to remind them the best time of the year to sell if that happens. So it helps them understand the implications of selling in the spring and summer versus selling in the fall and the winter, and you have these stats to back it up. After you're finished with the market statistics, then you go ahead and you start looking at the information that you will pull from the MLS and from tax records. First sheet we always include is an MLS listing sheet. This property was sold relatively recently in November, and we're able to see that the subdivision that it's in. You're able to see the county that it's in as well. We include that just as a reference point. The next sheet that we're going to include, it's a printout from the county tax assessor. This is going to be a 3-page document, and we can see here that they actually are protesting the property taxes right now. It's good information to have whenever you go in. And then also we see that they have a homestead exemption on the property. That's what we referenced in order to complete the earlier sheet that we discussed. Scrolling through, the next page that you'll see will be a quick CMA, which we will print from the MLS. Quick CMA is going to show them lots and lots of comps. These are all relevant comps, but bear in mind this is more than we would ever want to present to a seller. We're showing these folks what they could use if they want to protest their property taxes, also what an appraiser might use if they decide they want to refinance or if they want to get PMI removed from their loan. Very last sheet we're going to include in the handout is going to be market statistics, and this is what we're going to reference in order to get to the market health page that we discussed a little bit earlier. So that's what the report looks like, and now we can talk about how we can build the report. When we build the report, the first thing you're going to do is just log into the MLS, and you want to look for the property. So let me cross-reference that. It's 11002 Prairie Dove. In this case, we have 2 matches. You want to obviously go with the earlier. See that they paid $535,000 for the house. Just go ahead and print that and do an agent brief. It'll be 1 page. Download that. I like to create a new folder for it. We have that ready. So we know that it's in Travis County. That's what the previous MLS listing shows us. Easiest way to find this information is just go to Google, type in Travis County Appraisal District. It'll be the top result. They make it super easy to find the property search. And the property search is really intuitive. Just click the black property search. Type in the address again. There we go. Click on the property ID. Hit print. And I go ahead and rename this Travis County Info. Save it in the real estate review file. Next thing we need to do is we need to run comps. So let's cross-reference this page. Bear in mind we're just looking for rough comps. Again, they're looking at comps that they could potentially use in a property tax protest or if they needed to get PMI knocked off. So this property is 1567 square feet. It was built in 1981 and it is in Quail Hollow in MLS area 2N. So I'm going to take that information. I'm going to input it over here. We're going to look at active. I'm sorry, not active or pending. We're going to look at closed 1/1/2022 plus. And we are in Quail Hollow, MLS area 2N. And it's roughly 1,600 square feet, so we're going to go 1,400 to 1,800 square feet. That's how many results we have. We have 13 matches. That's really good. Go back here. We're just going to print out all 13. Go to Quick CMA and save that. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at market statistics. Bear in mind market statistics are very different than running a CMA. We have another class over market statistics that I would recommend you take a look at if you're not really familiar with them. But the gist is you want to look at active, under contract, pending, and closed in the past 90 days. We're going to look at an entire MLS area, looking at 2N. Generally only look at single family to single family. And let's see what we look at. 158. Looks like a good number of matches. Look at the results. When we're here, you want to check all. and then look down at the bottom for stats. You want to do tabular stats. When you get to this page, it's going to default to market analysis is what you want to see. This is going to separate everything into active, under contract, pending, and closed. Go ahead and print that to PDF, and you're going to save it as a PDF to the same folder where you've been saving everything. Great. So now you have all of the... Let me make sure that's saved. And it did. Great. So now you have everything that you need in order to build the packet. I personally like to modify these packets online. So if you go to Google, just type in online PDF editor, you're going to see a lot of options that pop up. I like Sejda. Sejda does a pretty good job. We're going to go ahead and upload the PDF file. So looks correct. First page, real estate review. Let's move on to the next page. Looks good. Table of contents. We do want to add the property address. 11002, Prairie Dove. You might as well add the zip code. Moving on to the next. Financial checklist. So this is where we look at the purchase price. You cross-reference the MLS sheet. $535,000 right there. Close price. Go back to Sejda. Purchase date. Take a look at the sheet again. Looks like, when did they close this? Closed it on 11/18/2021. So we're going to look at the date range. We're telling them they're doing 2022 year to date. And let's go look at the sold price range. This is going to be in the quick CMA. So price. Minimum 457.5. Maximum looks like 500. I'm sorry, maximum is 578,192. So a minimum 457.5. Let's go over here. I always like to copy and paste so that I don't make a mistake. Keep going. What's the average sold price? Average looks like, oh no, that was the average, 578, so I made a mistake there. The max was 740. That makes a lot more sense. Thank you guys for bearing with me while I do this. Look back to average price, 578,192. And look at median as well. Median price is going to be 560,000. It's a good idea. If you guys are not familiar with the difference between median and average, it's great. Great idea to look that up and be very, very comfortable with it. So date of last property tax protest, go ahead and add in. Currently protesting. Property valuation. Looks like I closed that down, so let's look here. Current values. Oh, so they've actually already had this changed to 535,000, so you can go ahead and add that as well. It's a great idea to give them a high five for that. And then remember, we see that it has a homestead exemption on it. And keep on going. All this information here you need to ask them about, and you can do that whenever you sit down with them. Major systems, same thing here. You want to ask them about that whenever you sit down with them. Properties that are built in the 70s often have had the electrical system updated, or this is built in 81. They often have had that updated. We want to make sure and not make any assumptions and discuss that with them. All right. Market health. So this is whenever we start determining if they're in a buyer's or seller's market. I'm not going to go over in too much detail how exactly you calculate this. I'm going to do it relatively quickly. If you have any questions over how to calculate this, let's please watch the other tutorial we have on how to determine market statistics. So go to your stats sheet right here. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to calculate absorption rate. Absorption rate is simply the number of properties that sold over the number of months. So we're looking at 3 months of data, 69 properties sold. So just do 69 divided by 3. 23 properties per month is what sold. So absorption rate here, 23. And then we're looking at months of inventory. So we know that the absorption rate is 23. You want to look back at the market stats. So there are 65 actives. You divide the actives by the absorption rate. So it's going to be 65 divided by 23. Let's make sure we did that math right. 69 over 3 is 23. And then 65 actives. So 65 actives over 23 per month. We have 2.8 months of inventory. Go ahead and mark it here. And this obviously changed a little bit since I ran these numbers a couple weeks ago. Average days on market, we'll take a look at that. Average days of closed is 21 and the median is 12. Go ahead and add that here. We're looking at the parameters, MLS area 2N. Date range, 90 days. Didn't do anything on price range. We didn't add anything for other. Let's make sure that we didn't have to add this here. Nope, we did not add parameters on the other comps. Then we're on seasonality of the market, nothing to do there. Go ahead and apply changes. And we're going to download this. Save it here. Next thing you guys want to do is you want to merge these together. I personally love PDF. Go to ilovepdf.com. Go to merge. Select PDF files. You want to add the completed RE reviews first. Add more files. Remember, we want to do the agent doc. Then we want to do the county info, followed by the CMA, followed by statistics. Merge all of this together, and you download the merge doc. Completed RE review, merged. Save it there. Once you're done with this, you can email this to QuickPrint, or you can email it to your favorite printer. Give them some instructions. Tell them to print the first, I believe it's 9 pages in color, and the rest in black and white. That will save you a little bit of money. Then ask them to also bind it. These will usually cost you about $10 per to put together. At the end of it, you're going to have a really, really solid presentation that you're going to drop off to your client. And you're then give them a call, and you're going to ask them when you guys can spend some time to go over it together. Hope this is helpful. If you have any questions over this at all, please shoot me an email, eric@bramlett.me, and I hope you're successful with this whenever you meet with your clients. Thanks.